What is up, everybody? Welcome into another episode of the Wide Eye Sports Podcast. We have a loaded show for you. We're going to go over everything post week 3. We're going to go over everything for week 4. We're going to touch on, like I said, everything. So just stick around. We're going to get to it right now. Always feel so awkward doing intros. I feel like I'm reading off something, but I'm not. It just feels awkward. But if you could, speaking of awkward, if you could just take a second, like, subscribe, we really appreciate it. It helps us out. We're trying to grow the channel. Can't grow it without you guys, so we appreciate you. So go ahead and do that. Like, subscribe right now. Do it. Like I said, do it. All right, we're gonna get into this. Everything you need to know about week 3. Everything you need to know about week 4. We're gonna touch on biggest winners, biggest losers. We'll do that first. So I'm going to go biggest MVPs to start us off. I have 2. One's an honorable mention, and then one's my MVP.
I have one clear cut.
You want to go then? You want to go first? I'll let
Sure.
you have it in case it's one of mine.
I mean, it's Saquon Barkley.
Okay. Nope, not either of mine.
Clear cut, 17 carries, 147 yards, 2 TDs.
Yeah.
It's any running back that puts up 120 plus, they should be on the MVP of the week. In my opinion.
Yeah, no, I agree almost completely if it wasn't for just a couple of things here. So
I'm sure you're probably going to say Sam Darnold, which is passing.
Nope.
He was my honorable mention because he had the passing touchdowns, but he didn't have the yards for me.
That's fine.
He threw under 200 yards, so he was my number 2.
He was balling in the red zone. When we got in the red zone, he was dropping dimes. And that, that's whatever. But not my guy. Not my guy. My honorable mention, Jauan Jennings. Pops off for 12 targets, 11 receptions, and I believe, see if I got it here,
175 yards.
175 yards and 3 touchdowns. He basically did what Sam Darnold did, but receiving. Crazy big day for him. Won so many people their fantasy leagues. Good for him. Was totally awesome to watch with Debo out, with Kittle out. Where the fuck's Brandon Ayuk? You don't get to be a $30 million wide receiver and then have Jauan Jennings show you up like that. That's not how that works. I watched the film. I didn't see Brandon Ayuk getting shell coverage every snap. He was getting open some of these plays, and Purdy was just looking at Jennings instead. I don't know. It's weird. But
I feel like I know who your MVP is. Was it a Monday night game?
It was a Monday night game.
Okay, I know who
it was. Jaden Daniels.
Yep.
Bro. Let me read you these stats. All right, bro had 21 of 23. That's 91% completion percentage. Highest single game completion percentage ever by a rookie. He had 254 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, a rushing touchdown, 12 carries for 40 yards. I mean, the dude did it all. And I mean, he's just not meant, and it wasn't like he was just dinking and dunking, right? He had 6 of those throws were over 15 yards in the air. Then he had 2 or 3 of those, including a clutch one to dagger the Bengals at the end of the game that were 40 yards in the air. So there's half his passing attempts that were, anywhere from 10 to 40 yards. Dude, he was absolutely balling, was escaping the pocket, creating plays with his legs. Say what you want about the Bengals and that team right now, but Jaden Daniels balled out. Bad team or not, Jaden Daniels balled out. I was so impressed by that guy last night. I think that I said it on the fantasy episode. I'll say it again here. If that's what he can be, he'll go down as a top 5 quarterback ever. Now, I don't know if he can consistently do what we saw him do last night. That would be insane, or Monday night. But if he can, dude's going to be legendary. You got a biggest loser? You want me to go?
I'm going to let you go because I was also going to shout out Josh Allen. Played a phenomenal game again, but he's my MVP pick, so I'm not going to always talk about him.
It's the LeBron James thing. We expect it from Josh Allen at this point. It kind of sucks, but that's where it's at with him. My biggest loser is the Cincinnati Bengals. I mean, they're 0-3 to start the season. Lost to a questionable Pats team. They've won, they've looked good at times. They looked bad at times. We don't really know what they are. They they beat the Bengals, but then they get destroyed by the Jets and have to start Drake May at the end of the game because they're getting blown out so bad. They lost to the Chiefs on that questionable PI call. I call it questionable not because it wasn't PI, but because refs don't normally throw that flag almost ever, and then they throw it for the Chiefs. So that was rough. They probably should have won that game. And then lost to maybe the best rookie performance of all time, single game wise, in Jayden Daniels on Monday night. Like, that was just so impressive. Like, I don't even fault them for losing that game. So best case scenario, they're 1-2 still. They're still not looking good. I think they're my biggest loser right now.
I think the Houston Texans as a whole last week was pretty rough watching that. I know you were happy about it, but if you were a Texas fan, it was just pretty rough.
Yeah, it was.
Honorable mention, I'm going to go ahead and bring it up. It is the refs for me.
The refs?
Oh. The refs. So here's my thing.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, cool. I thought I lost
you. So back to what you kind of said, and here's my thing, is that I grew up, whenever I was a kid, I would always complain about the refs, and then obviously they were like, oh, no, refs can't decide games. Like, you need to, like, you can't do that. You can't have that attitude. Yeah. So I grew out of it. I was like, okay, you know what? Like, I'll start focusing on the play and, like, how things are going. But right now, it's getting so clear-cut and obvious that there are certain calls being made for certain teams. And that's not even me watching.
You want to just pop off for a second? You want to?
I am popping off for a second because it's not even me bitching about Cowboys calls. Because I'll be honest, I watched half the fucking game. I turned it off at halftime. That's how pissed off I was as a Cowboys fan. Pissed off. Not even that game that I'm talking about. I'm talking about just in general. And I'm so sick of it. And one of the big ones is the Chiefs, because I didn't watch the Sunday Night Football game either. I was still pissed off.
Yeah.
And my thoughts going into the Chiefs-Falcons game was this. I was like, you know what? It's probably going to come down to the end, and the Chiefs are probably going to end up winning for some stupid-ass reason.
I mean, I said
and guess what? That is exactly what happened. It's exactly what happened, and I'm so sick of that. NFL viewership it's still there.
Yeah, it's going to be. It's the NFL.
It's always going to be, but I saw somebody rant about it the other day, and I'm on board. The product is not there right now.
The product does not match what we give to it. It's not being reciprocated.
And
I said it last week. I said, this is the Chiefs on primetime football. They're not going to let them lose. And what happened? They didn't throw the flag that the previous week they had thrown in favor of Kansas City. And once again, we're not trying to sit here and tell you, hey, they're rigging the games for Chiefs. But the Chiefs are getting calls that other teams aren't getting. And, they're getting help that they don't need. The Chiefs are a good enough football team. They don't need help to win. They'll just win naturally.
I'll go as far, too, as to the whole targeting bullshit is getting out of hand. I was watching the Monday Night Football game with the Bills and the Jags, and it was one of the first drives the Bills had. I watched them. They were marching down the field. I don't remember what receiver that Allen threw to, but the Jaguars defender went down, made a clear tackle. The receiver went lower, and his helmet was there.
Yeah.
Luckily, but I watched it, and the Jaguar defender, his helmet didn't even fucking hit the other guy's helmet. So it was a shoulder that hit the helmet, but he's going down to make a tackle.
Hold on.
Well, my argument is, how are we supposed to expect defenders to make tackles whenever you're telling them that it's a penalty for just making a clean tackle?
Yeah, so part of the issue is the referees don't call the game correctly. So back in 2011, I believe, somewhere in there, the NFL implemented a rule that runners, carriers of the football, are not allowed to lead with the crown of their helmets. That's illegal. That's against the rules. To this day, look it up. It's illegal. And they do it all the time. And then a defender, because the receiver or running back does this, right? They tuck their head and lead with the crown of their helmet and put their head in position to be the first thing hit. The defender gets the flag. That's an offensive penalty. Like, in the rule book, the runner with the football is not allowed to lead with the crown of their helmet either. Neither defender nor runner is allowed to do that. And they never, ever, 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 ever call it on the runner. And it's ridiculous. Like, you have to start calling this. Like, yeah, I just agree with you in general. The referee situation is not good enough. I don't know what how to fix it myself. Like I haven't sat
I don't
down
know. I
and
don't know
like
how to.
yeah,
I
I
don't know
haven't
how to fix it either. But
we could we could take some time and figure that out together and talk about it. But I just don't know how to fix it overnight, and I'm not sure the NFL does either. But we're in a place with technology and with learning potential and having the staff that the NFL does that this should be better than it is. And especially with the technology, in my
I feel
opinion,
with
there
the
should be.
technology getting better, I feel like it's getting worse
But
steadily.
but they're not using the technology. Is my
That's what I'm
point.
saying.
Yeah,
It's getting steadily worse, but they're not using the technology at all that we have
yeah.
to
It's
help them.
all. Yeah,
Like,
I don't understand it. There's no reason a 54-year-old man needs to be going. Yeah, I think he got to the 34-ish. Yeah, I'll put my left foot on the 34. That's where it was. Like, no,
yeah,
we should
no.
have a chip in the ball that says exactly where it landed, like where it was when the runner's knee went down. Pretty simple. You put a chip in the ball, you chip the field, you have 4 corners, and then you can time up the replay with the chips and see where they meet. Boom, we have a spot of the ball if it's challenged. No, easy thing to do. Tennis has been doing it for years. Years. Okay. This is not hard. It needs to be figured out. That's our TED Talk. That's our TED Talk. Let's move on to holding ourselves accountable. Are you ready to be held accountable?
I'm after last week. I know we're going to be held accountable.
Yeah,
It's going to be bad.
This is not going to be good. No, it's not going to be good.
I know that we did terrible.
We
last week.
did not do good last week. I'm getting it pulled up here. I apologize for the extra time it's taking me to get this pulled up. It's
This is
not
weird.
one.
We had a great week one.
We did. We had a great week, phenomenal week one. It's making me show the entire screen. All right, getting it up here. All right, here we go. All right,
we still went positive, 9 and 7.
We still went positive. Managed to go positive here. It did not go great. You can see here 9 and 7 this week, 31 and 17 on the year. We had Jets. We had Cleveland. Not a great one there. Indy pulling out the win. Houston. And this was one of the weeks where my mic went out, so I didn't have all the correct things here because I was fiddling with my mic. So that's why some of these we had a technical difficulties on one of the shows, and I got caught off guard. So we don't have all the exact predictions, but I can tell you I did not expect the Vikings to win this game, especially coming off a game against the Niners. I didn't expect them to win. Philly, Pittsburgh, everybody thought that was a pretty big nail in the coffin. Tampa Bay, yeah.
I think that was just a trap game. It was.
I lost my ass on this game this week. This was my lock of the week. I told like 20 people, lock of the week, Tampa Bay, no question. So 3 consecutive weeks to start the season, the biggest spread has lost every game. 3 consecutive weeks. San Francisco plays New England this week and is a 10-point spread right now. So I'd be watching out if I was San Francisco. All right, Vegas. That one's tough. That one's tough.
Miami. I mean, honestly, that's
Tua goes down. Tua to go down. Arizona. I thought up until the very end Arizona was going to win this game. I thought they were going to make a comeback somehow. I'd bet on Detroit, but I thought for sure Arizona was going to make a comeback. Baltimore, LA, Kansas City, Buffalo. I mean, especially Buffalo. Jesus Christ, Buffalo. Josh Allen looking. I mean, I saw a meme last night. It was Josh Allen, and then it was like Stephon Diggs in one corner and his five touchdown receivers last night. And it was like Josh Allen with 1 all-pro wide receiver or Josh Allen with 5 of his best friends. Like, dude is absolutely balling out right now. And I love to see it. I've never been high on Allen I've never been as high on Allen as somebody like Riley. And if you watched the show before, Riley's my little brother. He's on the show. He is super high on Josh. He thinks Josh Allen is the greatest player on the planet, period. End of story. There is no debate. So I'm not that high on him. I think Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, they're all in the same tier, but maybe not a clear-cut number 1 in that tier. But he looked unstoppable last night. And then the Commanders, I didn't expect Jaden Daniels to look this good this early, but fuck, he looked good. He looked good. Anything that really jumps out at you here, Spoon?
I mean, not really. I think we did better than I thought. Honestly, I thought we were gonna have a losing week this week from all the upsets that we had.
Almost,
Yeah.
almost
Um,
over there in the corner over
I
here.
think Cincinnati definitely blew it for us.
Yeah, Cincy
100%.
hurt.
Tampa Bay and Cincy were the two that really hurt
And
us here.
Vegas, Tampa Bay, Cincy, Vegas, Cleveland's one of those that like how are you fucking losing to the Giants at home?
Yeah, I
How are you fucking
don't
losing to
know.
the Giants at home? Like you can't do this.
Don't know.
Houston, Minnesota's a buzzsaw we didn't see coming. I didn't even see him. I remember saying Vikings are 3-0 right now. I remember telling we play next up. We play here. We play Green Bay this week. Then we go
Yep.
to London to play the Jets. Then we have a bye week, and then we play the Lions at home. And I was like, I'll be stoked if we're 2-4 coming out of that. Like I will be so happy. And I mean, worst case scenario, we're 3-3. If we drop the next 3 straight, we're 3-3.
Yeah.
And I'm
You're
fucking
happy with that.
I'm so happy because the back end of our schedule, we get the Jags, we get the Colts, the Bears twice. We play at home against the Lions, or not
Yeah,
the
and the
Lions,
Bears
against the
don't
Packers.
look scary at all.
The Bears don't look
They don't.
scary. The Packers in Minnesota is a late season game. We get to play Atlanta, which is an up in the air game. Seattle's 3-0, but they've had a bit of a pillowy schedule so far. I'm not totally sold on the Seahawks yet. We'll get into that here more in just a second when the top 10 rolls out. But yeah, so respect versus respect. Seattle's 3-0. Respect. They're winning football games. First Seahawks head coach to ever start his career 3-0. Fun fact. But this is our accountability session. We were 9-7. This isn't good enough. We will be better. We will
be better.
We will be better, and we will get back on track. We'll get back into the double-digit wins. This is our first week without double-digit wins. We will get back there, and we will be better for you guys. I promise. All right, let's pull that off the screen here. Get us back sitting normal. And are you ready for the first Wide Eye Sports top 10 of the season?
Oh shit, that's what we're doing. I thought we were making our picks for next week.
We will.
Okay.
After
no,
this.
we're good.
After this, we're gonna reveal the top 10 for the first time.
I know you're happy because I know the Vikings are probably in the top 5,
as they deserve to be.
I know, and I know that my Cowboys. This is probably I would guess this is the first top 10 that we've done where the Cowboys probably aren't in the top 10.
I don't remember. They are not in the top 10.
I didn't put them in my top 10.
I didn't
I'm
put
a
them in my
Cowboys
top
fan,
10
guys.
either.
So
All right, are you ready for this?
go ahead.
Here it is. The first 2024 Wide Eye Sports top 10 list. So
let me look. I want to see how, because that's pretty accurate for where I was. I had Chiefs 1, Bills 2, Vikings 3.
So I won't lie to you. The Chiefs were at 3 on my list because of the Cincinnati game and the Atlanta game. They were 3 on my list. You can't have that much referee help and be considered a dominant team.
So here was my argument for that, because I knew that was going to come up.
Yeah.
Is that I'm putting them at 1 because I'm fully expecting them to continue to have referee help.
That's fair.
And if that's going to be the case,
I don't want that.
And if that's going to be the case, then they're obviously going to keep winning games. They're probably going to end up being 5-0, 6-0. Who fucking knows? But
yeah, they're a couple of calls away from being 1-2. And
they're literally 2 calls away from being 1.
For my money, I would have put them at 3. They're still the Chiefs, and they're still probably the best team in the league right now. Any given week, they could beat but they'd be favored against almost every team any given week. So they're still the Chiefs. I'm not trying to take any of that away from them. I had them at 3. I'm saying they're the 3rd best team in the world right now. So not a huge slight on my part. I had the Minnesota Vikings at 1 and the Buffalo Bills at 2. Full transparency. But yeah, what do you think of the? So I will say here, I don't know if this is going to come up on which screen. Yeah, it's going to come up on that screen. Hold on.
Okay.
Well, I'll pull it up on that screen and shift it over real quick so I can look at it while I talk to you guys. So I have the breakdown for all the top 10 stuff right here. And I just wanted to bring up that the NFL.com released their top 10 this week as well. And their top 10 had Kansas City 1, Buffalo 2, Minnesota 3. and then Detroit at number 4. And you'll notice Detroit is on one of our bubble teams, and I was just very surprised by that.
I mean, I put them in my top 10, and I think I had them at 9. But
I did as well.
I think them being that high is. I don't think Detroit would beat Philly right now. If I'm being honest,
and
I think
they had
Detroit
Detroit
would,
at 4. I'm kind of blown away by that.
I think Detroit would struggle right now if they played the Seahawks, New Orleans, Green Bay. Like those aren't guaranteed wins. So I don't.
Yeah.
Detroit in the top 10, absolutely.
I want to see how they do against Seattle.
I am curious.
I want to see how they do against Seattle. They lost to Seattle at home last year, so I want to see how they do against Seattle.
They get it back. I mean, if they get the win against Seattle, they're probably jumping up to like number 7, probably number 6 for me.
Yeah, I think Seattle drops out and Detroit jumps up into this range right here.
Yeah.
So, the Packers and Vikings play this week. Don't the Lions play the Seahawks this week? Isn't that this week? Okay,
yeah. They play Monday night.
So we have those two playing this week. We have these two playing this week. We have.
I mean, we have some good matchups. Like the Eagles play the Bucks, and the Bucks are they fell out of my top 10.
Yeah, they fell out of mine.
Denver, but
yeah,
I mean,
you can't lose to Denver, Carolina, and be in the top 10.
I mean, they're still kind of a bubble team for me. Like if I had to keep going to the next 5 to be top 15, I would put the Bucks in my top 15.
So the bubble teams that I'm going to include every week will be all teams who got votes. Just any team who got votes. These two got votes, but they didn't have enough votes to make the top 10. So I am kind of surprised the Chargers are on this list. I did not have the Chargers in my top 10.
I did not either.
Yeah, which Riley's the only other member and participant of the top 10. He had the Chargers at 5 on his list.
Damn.
So that
up there.
Yeah, that me and Spoon had the Lions at 5, but I set up tie-breaking procedures this year for the top 10. So the tie-breaking procedures are voted points. So the points we allot them via voting, the team's record, and then point differential after that. So, and if it goes to that, then we'll create a 4th one. But until then, that's the thing. And the Chargers won over the Lions. They got in over the Lions this week. So both had 5 points allotted, and the Chargers won it out. So they have a better point differential than the Lions currently do. So Chargers get it.
I don't hate this list at all. I like it.
Yeah, depending on how the Packers-Vikings game goes. I mean,
I think if the Packers lose to the Vikings, if it's a close game, I don't think the Packers fall out of my top 10.
They probably fall below the Lions for me if they lose. If the Vikings lose a close one, they're both probably in 5 and 7 range for me, like together in there. And then if the Vikings get blown out, the Vikings drop to like 9 or 10, and the Packers jump up into the top 4.
Well, I was gonna say the Chargers, they're 10 right now. They play the Chiefs this week, and they're gonna lose.
So Chargers. So we got 3 top 10 matchups: Chargers, Chiefs, Packers, Vikings, and Seahawks.
Lions.
Detroit kind of top 10.
Kind of top 10.
But yeah, so we got all of that. So
really good matchups this week.
We got some good matchups coming this week. It's going to be a good week. It's going to be a good week.
Let's look into it. Let's look at the matchups.
Yeah, let's look at the matchups.
Let's look at it.
I like where your head's at. I got to find where I had. There they are. All right.
You might have to zoom in a little bit. That's kind of.
I will. I was just getting it. Oh,
there you go. No, that was great. I actually like that.
Up here? Like
right
that?
There.
Like
yeah.
That? All right.
Cool. I love that.
All right, cool. All right, so we got Dallas at New York. So I'm taking Dallas -6, 4 stars. And so I should preface, if you don't know how we do this, every week we pick the spreads for the entire week, and we mention over-unders, but the main point is the spreads. We talk about money line, talk about over-unders. Those aren't the main points. And then we rank it 1 to 5 stars on how confident we are. 3 being I would do that. 1 being stay away from this game, and 10 being like put the house on it, or 5 being put the house on it, I should say. So I'm at a 4-star with Dallas -6. Spoon, I know you're going to feel differently.
I am. I'm actually going the other way. And you said 4-star?
4-star.
Okay, so I'm doing Giants +6. As a 1-star. I don't think the Giants win, but I do think they have a better chance of covering that 6-point spread. I'm that over at 43. Ugh, I'm
45.
that.
45.
45. Okay, my
45.
bad. I see it It's at 44 on mine. I thought that said 43. I'm loving that. I'm probably gonna take that over.
Yeah, I like the over. Cowboys -6. I think Cowboys get to 30 by themselves. Cowboys get to 17, or the Giants get to about 17. It's a 57-point game right there.
57 points. That's plenty.
So, or 47 points. Sorry, 30 and 17 is
Yeah.
no 50.
Bad math.
Yeah, 47. 47.
It is
We did
47,
math.
which is still that's good.
Missouri education, guys. Missouri education. All right. So next up we have Vikings at Packers. Me and Spoon have a buddy who's getting married this weekend, so we will not be able to enjoy all of the games all day Sunday. We will have obligations Sunday night, but we will catch all of the morning games. Minnesota at Green Bay. Oof. 2.5 points is tough. This is the same position they put me in with Houston last week. The same position. They took Houston -2.5, and I gotta go Packers -2.5 here. 1 star. I'm not confident in it at all, but if the Vikings lose, it's it's not going to be by 2 points. It's not going to be by 1 point. It'll be by 3 points. So it'll be a field goal game. It'll be a touchdown game. I don't like the 2.5 number. So Green Bay -2.5, 1 star.
I'm taking Vikings +2.5, and I'm going to 4-star that.
I love it.
This, from what I've seen the last few weeks, this Vikings offense has had no issues whatsoever. And I see that continuing into week 4. I don't care what. Now, Matt, I'm saying that because I know Matt LaFleur was my coach of the week, and honestly, coach of the year.
Matt LaFleur is amazing.
He's doing great with a backup QB right now, too. Just want to put that out there. But the Vikings defense looks good. They're going to be able to stop the Packers offense. I think the Vikings take this easily.
So can I go ahead and give a little statistical analysis of this game?
Go ahead.
All right. So Kevin O'Connell, the Minnesota Vikings head coach, as you can see above me, big Vikes fan. I could start my own Vikings channel with all my knowledge. He is 20-8 with his starting quarterback in the game, and he is 6-6 with non-starters in the game. So like Josh Dobbs, Nick Mullins, those guys. So he wins 50% of his games when he has nothing to work with. He wins 2 out of every 3 games when he has his starter in. So statistically speaking, you should probably lose this game, but I don't like leaning on that for like this. Is the point of that is just he wins a lot of games when he has his starters. When he has his starting quarterback in the game and he can have the guy that he's been coaching up all week to play in this game, he gets to have his ears or his noise in the quarterback's ears until 15 seconds left on the play clock. So the defense can line up and Kevin O'Connell can still be talking to Sam Darnold going, okay, you see the Mike linebacker there, see how he's offset and he's, standing over the nose tackle right there. Yeah, that means they're doing this. This is their tendency when they do that. So make sure to watch out for this. And he can give all those little tidbits to Sam Darnold in the helmet. And I really think that's a huge advantage. And it is crazy what Brian Flores is doing. I could talk for an hour about what he's doing with this defense. We can talk more about that later, but yeah, it's just insane. I like the Vikings to win. I think +114 on the money line is probably my favorite bet on this whole game. But, if I had to pick a spread, -2.5 Green Bay. So let's move on to the New Orleans Saints at the Atlanta Falcons. I'm going New Orleans +1.5 because I think they'll win this game, and I'm going to do 2 stars.
Okay. With that being a 2-star, I don't love this game at all. It's a division game. Atlanta's home, so I'm going to lean Atlanta. I'm probably going to take them -1.5, and I'm gonna put it at a 3-star because I kind of think Atlanta wins this game, and they probably do by like 2 points, 3 points.
I would say I just stay away from the money line here. When it's a 1 point or a 1.5 game, I just take the spread. You're going to get better odds unless you're taking the money line on the underdog. But
yeah,
just take the spread.
I do kind of like the under on this one too. Just a little bit.
I don't like it because I don't know what the Saints are going to do. If the Saints are going to be the Saints from the first 2 weeks, they're going to score 30 points. If they're going to be Saints from last week and Atlanta's going to hold the ball and run the ball and keep it out of the Saints' hands, then I do like the under. But how do you feel about the Rams-Bears game? Plus 2.5 in favor. Bears are favored minus 2.5. What do you think?
I mean, I'm taking the Rams, and I'm probably going to 4-star that.
I'm taking the Rams. They just beat the Niners. They just beat the
But
Niners.
teams usually lose the week after they play the Niners.
Yeah, this is true, and we've now had we're breaking that trend apparently because that trend's not working out this year. I'm taking the Rams. They just beat the Niners. They're running on a high. Yeah, I'm taking the Rams. Taking the Rams. The Caleb Williams offense isn't going to be able to move the ball, period, against anybody right now, or at least score on anybody right now. And I like Matt Stafford and the Rams to be able to move the ball a couple of times. I love the under in this game. Love the under. So I would go under 41 for sure, and I would take the Rams plus 2.5. 3-star.
3-star? Cool.
3-star.
I don't hate
All right.
that.
Bengals, Panthers. Where are you going?
I'm going Panthers plus 4.5.
Panthers plus 4.
At home
Me
plus
too.
4.5, and I'm gonna 2-star it though.
I'm gonna 3-star it. I'm gonna
Okay.
3-star it.
I'm not super confident in it, but I mean, if you're giving me a whole field goal plus a point, like I'm gonna take that at home. Yeah.
This is gonna sound weird, but I'm taking the under. I know they're bad on
That sounds
defense in
weird.
Cincy. I know, but what are the odds they break 50 in back-to-back games?
That's fair. I mean,
It's not real high, so
it's
I'm
just
taking
the
the under.
Bengals defense has done nothing this year.
That's fair.
Any confidence?
That's fair. I think it's a weird season. I think weird things happen, and I'm taking the under.
All
right. Denver at New York. I mean, I'm.
This
is tough.
spread sucks.
This spread sucks. I'm taking Jets 0 stars.
Well, so last week we did pick the Patriots to cover their spread. They didn't. The Jets.
They didn't.
The Jets
Dominated.
won. Yeah, they dominated. So I'm gonna go ahead and lean Jets minus 7.5, and I think I'm gonna 3-star it.
I'm gonna 0-star this game. Stay as far away from this game as possible. I don't like the over. I don't like the under. I like the over.
You like the over, yeah. The over, I would probably give a higher grade.
Yeah, 3-4 stars on the over, 1 star on or 0 stars on the Jets. 0 stars. Stay away from it. Do not put a penny on that spread. Don't waste your money. You're guessing at this point. There's no lean there. You're guessing, and I don't like guessing for bets. So 0 stars for me. I'm gonna go away from that. That was disgusting. I hated that. All right, I'm taking Houston minus 7, 4 stars.
Yeah, I'm gonna take them too, and I'm gonna 3-star that. I'm not like super confident. It could be ending a push, but the Jags don't look good at all this year.
Jags don't look good. I expect Houston to bounce back.
Have a bounce back game. I like it.
I like that. All right, Pittsburgh at Indy. I'm taking Pittsburgh minus 2 all day, and I'm taking the under.
Yeah, I was gonna. The under was my big bet here. I was gonna say I would definitely take that. That's probably a 4-star under for me.
Yeah,
because the Steelers are 3-0, and they are also
scored
the least amount of points as any team in a very long time. That's 3-0.
It is. Real quick. Let's take a second. Let's take a second pause on this game. Pittsburgh is 3-0. They are undefeated on the season. They're playing good ball. They're not playing bad ball. Justin Fields is being efficient. He's not turning the ball over. He's not being dumb. The Steelers defense is playing next level ball, like Super Bowl level ball out of this defense. And everybody's wondering if Justin Fields is going to continue to start when Russell Wilson is healthy again. And let me ask you a question, Spoon. Would you start Malik Willis if Jordan Love is healthy?
No.
But they've won games, right?
Absolutely not.
Exactly. That's my point. Malik Willis and Justin Fields are playing very similar right now. They are very efficient with their passing. and they scramble when they need to. That's what they do. And the defenses for both teams, Packers and Steelers, have been playing really well. And the running games have been playing really well. And that's what they've leaned on. Just because you're winning games does not mean you can't make a change at the quarterback position. If Justin Fields was throwing for 300 yards a game, 3 touchdown passes, and looked like an MVP, I would be like, do not touch him. Leave him in. Let him play.
Here's a great argument. You got 3-0 Steelers against the 1-2 Colts. Obviously, the Colts are struggling this year, but Anthony Richardson has more passing touchdowns and more passing yards than Justin Fields does.
Yeah.
And they're struggling. Yes, absolutely, 100%. You put Russ in, see what he can do.
Yeah. I mean, only if Russ is healthy do I want him in this game.
Yeah. Like,
but,
if he's not healthy, you let him sit a little bit longer. Because obviously they're not struggling with Justin Fields, but their offense would probably be putting up more points if he was the starting quarterback.
Russ gives you a better chance to win.
Yeah.
Russ gives you a better chance to win from a quarterback perspective. Justin Fields is the more dynamic playmaker. He's going to get you more rushing yards. He's going to be able to scramble out more. Nobody's debating that. But I am saying right now, without a doubt, the better thrower of the football is Russell Wilson. And just because you're winning because of your defense and running game does not mean you can't make a change at quarterback to a better quarterback. Like, everybody's been saying, well, shouldn't Justin Fields keep starting when Russell is healthy? Like, no. By that standard, Malik Willis should stay starting when Jordan Love is healthy. And that's the most ludicrous thing I've ever said. Like, nobody thinks that. So I just would like everybody to pump the brakes on Justin Fields. They're not winning because of him. They're winning because of the defense. They're not losing because of him. Like, he's actively contributing to them not losing, but he's not the reason they are winning. I know that's kind of a confusing statement, but just means that he's not costing them games, but he's not winning them the game. And I feel like Russ gives them potential to have the offense help them win the game instead of just the defense. So, but all right, Philadelphia at Tampa Bay. I'm taking Tampa Bay plus 2.5. I like a Tampa Bay bounce back game. I don't feel like the Eagles are for real. I saw a thing from I think it was Mel Blount on ESPN the other day. He was talking about, if Saquon catches this ball, then, the Eagles are 3-0 and we're looking at this Philadelphia team like, oh, they just seem to get it done when it matters. Like that if he catches one ball, that's how we're looking at this Eagles team. And I had to just stop and be like, but he didn't catch the ball. They don't just get it done when they need to. Like they're not that team. They didn't do it. Like, we're not in that reality. We're in the reality where they drop the ball and they're not that team. So I like Tampa Bay to bounce back, plus 2.5, 3 stars.
Yeah, I'm going the opposite. I'm going Eagles minus 2.5, and I'm going to 4-star that.
Wow. No faith.
Buccaneers didn't look good last week. Eagles went into New Orleans.
Game.
Okay, I'm just saying the Eagles went into New Orleans, beat a better team, in my opinion. I think the Saints are a little better than the Bucs this year so far.
Okay.
So, yeah, I'm taking Eagles minus 2.5.
Okay. All right. Well, 4-star. You said 4-star. 4-star. All right. We'll can see who's right. We can see. All right. Washington at Arizona. God, dude, I fucking want to hit that right there. I want to do that. Can I do that?
Just hit the over.
Yeah. Can I just hit the over real quick?
What
do you like here? What do I like here?
I like it to be a shootout. I think it's going to be a shootout.
Love the shootout, but we already talked about the over. What are you thinking about the plus minus?
Well, it's at 3.5 on yours. Jeez.
3.5 on DraftKings. This is DraftKings Sportsbook.
That makes me want to lean Commanders with it being 3.5, and I'm going to 1-star that. I'm not confident in that at all.
See, I don't think either of these defenses could stop anything, so I think the winner wins by a touchdown. So I'm taking who I think is going to win, and that is Arizona, 3 stars. I think the winner wins by a touchdown. I think it'll just be trading touchdowns back and forth. Maybe a field goal makes it a 4-point game back and forth. I like Arizona minus 3.5 in that scenario. But I've been wrong a lot this year, so who fucking knows what's going to happen? All right, here we are. The biggest spread of the week has lost each of the first 3 weeks. The underdog has covered all 3 weeks, and so therefore I'm taking Patriots 5-star. 5-star New England.
I'm taking New England, and I'm going to 4-star it.
I'm going New England 5-star, personal guarantee. I'm putting the house on it.
No, I'm 3-starring it. Nope, not 4. I can't be that confident in it because the
can.
49ers, they need to have a bounce back game. And this would be the perfect week to prove people wrong. But I mean, I don't
That's
know.
cool. That's cool. That's cool. I don't disrespect it. I don't hate you for it. But bet on the Patriots. Cover the spread. Kansas City at LA. You're going KC, aren't you?
No, I'm actually. This is my 5-star of the week, and I'm going Chargers. It is a division
Even with
game.
no Herbert, even if Herbert doesn't play.
Okay, if Herbert doesn't play, then I'm probably leaning Chiefs.
Okay.
But
Because
have
right
we-
now, I
have
don't
we
think he's going to
heard-
play. I don't think he's going to play right now. He's questionable right now. He's questionable, but it's a high ankle sprain. They pulled him last week for half the game because of it. I don't think he plays this week. I'm taking Kansas City minus 8.5 regardless, but especially if he doesn't play.
If Justin Herbert plays, I'm taking Chargers with the spread, and I'm 5-starring it. If he doesn't play, I'm still going to take the Chargers spread, but I'm going to put it at a 1-star.
See, I'm taking Kansas City 1 star if Herbert plays.
Well, my thing is Kansas City has played just about every single game close this year,
Yeah.
and they haven't won by 8 points yet, right? Yeah, 7, 1 point, 5 points.
Which
And
makes me think they're due.
They struggled against Cincinnati, who has not looked good at all. So that
No,
makes
you're
me
right
want to
there.
pick. That makes me want to pick the Chargers at home, division game. They're
Hold
gonna
up. I will say this though. They play in LA. No game's a home game.
I understand that, but I'm just saying I'm still probably leaning, even with Justin or without Justin Herbert, I'm still gonna lean Chargers.
Okay.
Points.
All right. Well, you guys heard it here first. All right, Cleveland at Vegas. I'm taking the Raiders -1.
Yep, and I'm gonna 4-star that one.
I'm gonna 3-star it.
Yeah.
That was quick. That was easy.
That
Taking
was
the over
very
too.
easy.
Buffalo at Baltimore. Dude, what a game. What a game.
I'm taking Buffalo 5-star here.
Buffalo
They have not.
2-star.
They've been blowing out every single team that they've played. Like, there's no reason why not to do that.
I'm
they're gonna
saying
do it again.
Buffalo 2-star. I don't know if they blow them out. I don't like this over under the 46 number. Mid 40s always scare me because it could go either way. So I'm going to stay away from that. I like Buffalo 2-star to cover versus the Ravens. And then Tennessee at Miami, Monday Night Football. Got another Monday night doubleheader this week. What do you think here?
I want to pick Tennessee here, honestly.
Me too. I'm
I
taking
do.
Tennessee 4 stars.
Okay.
I think they get their
I'm
first
gonna
win.
I'm gonna 3-star it, but
I think they get their first win here. I think that the Dolphins showed that without Tua, they are not the same team. Just point blank and simple. They're just not.
At all.
And Riley has come on the show before. If you haven't watched the show before, we normally have another member. His name's Riley. He's come on the show before and said if Tyreek had a different quarterback, he would throw for 2,000 yards every season, or he would go for 2,000 yards every season, blah, 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 blah. Tua's heavily underrated. Dude led the league in passing yards last year. Mike McDaniels obviously likes Tua and what he can do, and he runs the scheme very well. And not everybody can do that. And I think Mike McDaniels is a genius, but he needs the right pieces to play the game. And he doesn't have that right now. So I like the Tennessee Titans to get their first win with a very bad Tennessee team over a better Dolphins team that is struggling right now with no offense. And I'm going to 2-star that. What do you think?
I don't hate it.
Titans 2-star? We settle on
Yeah.
Titans 2-star? We agree?
I said 3, I think.
Oh, 3-star? Okay. Same situation. We're good.
Almost
All
there.
right. So these are next week. We're going to ignore these.
No,
we
we
got
have Seattle. Yeah.
Seattle at Detroit. They won in Detroit last year. Outright won.
I have a 5-star, but I'm not. It's not a spread bet.
It's the under or the
It's
over?
the under.
Under?
I love the under here. Two very good defenses playing against each other.
I mean, I
47
couldn't
and a-
agree. I couldn't disagree more with that statement.
But it's 47.5 points. It's already kind of high. I think a lot of people are tackling that over.
This
And
game could
I'm-
easily be 24-24.
And
Easily.
I'm going to go for that under. Well, if it's 24-21, then I win.
Yeah, but I'm saying it
And
could
that's what-
easily be
I don't think
mid
easily 20.
beginning of the fourth quarter could be 24-24. Easily. Unless,
Yeah.
well, I should add the caveat. If Kenneth Walker doesn't play, I like the Lions minus 3.5 here.
Yeah, if I was leaning for the spread, I was probably going to take Lions minus 3.5, but I was only going to 2-star it.
I'm going to take the Seahawks plus 3.5 on a 2-star.
Okay.
Unless Kenneth Walker doesn't play, then I'm 4-starring the Lions at minus 3.5. So
I am 5-starring that under.
I know Spoon just said these are two good defenses. The Seahawks have played great defense. They are the league's #1 scoring defense so far this season, but they have had an absolute cakewalk of a schedule so far. In fact, they have played the Broncos in Bo Nix's first game ever, Malik Willis and the Patriots, and then they played the Tua-less Dolphins. So,
hey man, so even if they're average, I still like that under.
But I mean, they got 20 hung on them by Bo Nix. They got 20 hung on them by the Patriots. I mean, they're going to get 30 hung on them by Ben Johnson. They're going to have to score 30 plus points to win this game. So I like the over. And if Kenneth Walker plays, I think they have a legitimate shot to make this a close game and definitely come within 3 points. But if Kenneth Walker isn't there, I don't think that run game will be the same against the Lions, especially on the road. And I don't like their chances. I think Detroit ends up winning this game either way, but one way it's close, the other it's not.
I also think that total is probably going to keep going up too.
Yeah, I would agree with that. If you can, personally, 3-star over right now, if you could snag this 47, snag the 47. So, but that's me.
But I wouldn't be surprised if it gets up to 50, and that's where I'm just like, you know what, I'm definitely putting the house on that under.
Yeah. So that was our pick'em for this week. That was our whole week's worth of spreads. So that's covering the whole next week. We will be, unfortunately, at a wedding. Not unfortunately at a wedding. We will be at a wedding. We will be at a wedding for Sunday Night Football. So me and Spoon will be over in the corner with my phone on, just sitting there watching the game while the ceremony's going on. But so we'll
luckily my game's Thursday night, so I ain't got to worry about it.
Yeah, no, my game's Sunday morning, so we're good. We're good. I already let the groom know that if the Vikings go into overtime, I will be late to the proceedings. So
trying to watch the game together.
Oh yeah, dude.
Trying to like
go. I already talked to Blake. Yeah.
Where are you going?
He said B-dubs.
No, let's go to Big Whiskies.
We'll go somewhere. They
don't even have a B-dubs in Branson.
They don't?
No.
Oh, okay. I don't. You think I know what they have in Branson, Missouri? Branson, Missouri is where we're from, by the way. Originally. Yeah. But all right, well, folks, thank you for sticking around. Spoon, you got anything else you want to add for week 4? I'm just gonna say this. I'm gonna end the show on a note in which I had typed out a message to our group chat last week saying, when the Vikings beat the Texans, I want apologies from everybody. And I deleted it because that wasn't fair, because I wasn't confident enough. I didn't say the Vikings were I wasn't about to jinx the Vikings like that. I didn't want that. But I'll say it now. If the Vikings can go into Lambeau after beating the Niners, after beating the Texans, and then go into Lambeau against Jordan Love and beat him there against a decent Packers team, I want no excuses. None. That's all I'm asking. Okay. I don't think
I have them in my top 5s.
Yeah, no. I'm talking from everybody, not just you specifically. This isn't directed directly at you. This is Stephen A. Smith. This is Colin Coward. This is my brother. This is the group chats. This is everybody. Everybody said, well, they didn't have McCaffrey. Well, they didn't have Mixon. Well, it was the Giant. Like, shut the fuck up. We are dominating teams right now. And I'm not saying that's going to continue. I'm not trying to say the Vikings are going to fucking 17-0 and win the Super Bowl. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying they deserve more respect than they're getting. That's all I'm saying. But all right, that's my TED Talk. Thanks for coming. Before you go, like, subscribe to the channel. Do it for us. We need it. You're the only ones who can do it, and we need you. So if you could please do that, we would really appreciate it. And we will see y'all next week.